this fat stormtrooper from Daft Chicken Gaming. Every once in a while, it's worth calling some out on something. Some people just make some erroneous comments that are so false and in my opinion, malicious. This is Heavy Trade. Heavy Trade has more or less called me out as being a scammer. I have never actually dealt with Heavy Trade. On his friends list, there is a known impersonator here. This of myself, the fat stormtrooper, who has got friends with all sorts of scammers, and is clearly not myself. If you go to his Steam community backpack, you find he's a trader or a scammer or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's a guy that is out to impersonate me. Now, the guy has then come back and he's linked my backpack. Or he's linked it to which is presumably my backpack, which I'm not going to go and do at the moment. So let's go back to this other guy that's made this alleged report at me. So he's more or less made a report against myself, saying, "Oh, you know, he's a scammer and he's banned on Outpost for scamming." I was actually never banned on Outsource by scamming. Tough Socks more or less accused me of having an alt trade account, which wasn't, because I wasn't actually on Steam, and a friend set me up a Steam account which using unfortunately the same email. Therefore I've been flagged as an alt. And then he demanded all sorts of things from a trade history, and of course I'm a professional and I sort of think to myself, well, what do I have to fucking give anything to you for? You're a tosser. So at the end of the day, I got banned more or less for the fact, on principle, I didn't even have a trade history to hand over to him. Why all of a sudden is he able to accuse me of something, and I'd actually literally not traded at all on Outpost, if you look at my view. So in my view, I more or less did it out of principle to flag the fact that Tough Socks, in my opinion, is a bit of a dickhead. And I say that nicely, Tough Socks, because I think you are a dickhead, and more or less I hadn't had any trade experience, and yet you still chose to flag me as an alt, even though you do have an alt account yourself. Anyway, a little hypocritical, I think, but we'll just leave it at that, and we'll part good friends, or not. So anyway, let's get back to Heavy Trade. So Heavy Trade, I mean, he's a trade. He's made off with a scammer, and then apparently he's tried to be scammed. So then, of course, what does he do? He goes to the backpack link, and guess what he finds? He finds my backpack link. Now, the thing is, on my backpack link, sure, I have a link to my backpack. Okay, but all of a sudden, now I have I have a very good trust rating here. Then I have this complete random, all of a sudden, make allegations against my reputation. And false allegations, because I do not know him. He tried to scam me and also ban me on Outposts. Well, I've reported that. That's completely inappropriate. And he's also banned on Outposts for scamming. Well, I'm not. I'm banned because of Tough Socks, just his whim. So anyway, he owns Outposts. I've always said to people, don't use Outposts. I've been an advocate against Outposts because I was very disturbed by the moral judgment I was placed under. So as a result, I've never used Tough Socks. Outposts for a trade. I've never actually used it before I used it. And I've never ever traded, and I've never ever been banned, and certainly not for scamming. Now, if Tough Socks put that in writing that I was a scammer, I would take legal action. But obviously, there's no scamming. There's no allegations. Suspect alt account. He can't prove scamming. I've never scammed. So at the end of the day, there's nothing to say on Outpost that I scammed. He tried to scam me. Well, learn to spell scam properly. Okay. And heavy. I mean, maybe it's a play on word, but learn to spam. And at the end of the day, I've reported this for being a malicious comment. I would expect that it's taken down, and I would also expect that this person would have the dignity to apologise. Why don't you actually go to this person here, this fat stormtrooper here, and report him. Go to his actual thing. Okay, you can then go to his it's the back part of his profile, and you can have a look and say, well, that's his profile there. You could go and see what he is in Steam. Fat Stormtrooper about 5 hours ago. Who the hell is this freak? And go into Steam, and I put down here, report user, impersonating another user, impersonating and trying to scam so that I get blame for it. Okay, submit report, and it's really up to you, Mr. Heavy, or whatever your fucking name is, and fuck, I don't really care who your name is because you're irrelevant to me. Why don't you go to Steam Rep, actually get the proper fucking person's profile, and report the actual fucking person you dealt with. He's on your fucking friends list. It is not that fucking hard for you to go to your fucking friends list, copy his URL, go to Steam Rep, paste his URL, rather than relying on this fictitious bloody backpack link he's given you, and then blaming somebody else. I say to you, Mr. Heavy, grow the fuck up and do the fucking job properly, do your fucking research, and do not throw shit at other people. It is inappropriate, unfair, rude, and you're a fucking prick. Peace out. Okay, I'm going to try and find this guy who is there he is there.